Okay, so let me first start with showing you some documents.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, okay, first, tell me, what is your level? Are you a student? Are you a graduate? Uh, what are you preparing for interviews? Are you preparing for a big company, small company?
Yeah, so currently I'm working for a small company. So I graduated 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm thinking about switching jobs to go work for a much bigger company or a company that probably is involved with like things that would, that I'm passionate about. So that's why I'm practicing right now.
And you're currently full-time employed, right?
Yes, I'm full time.
As a software engineer, full-stack developer, what exactly?
Software development.
Cool, cool. And what are the technologies?
What are the what?
Technologies.
So mainly, so my company is involved with developing like different application desktops that are used by the banks,
Mhm.
mainly like within capital markets to do their trades or like just do their risk management and like we build like different calculators to calculate the marginal. Hello?
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's mainly like desktops that application desktops that do different things, and we use C sharp as the main language, and then also uh, mainly like we use Microsoft Visual Studio to manage the code and like yeah, something like that.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me show you some of the documents of some of my students. Okay, um this is Samuel's document. This guy, he's a very smart guy. He's a student and he wants to prepare for Google. He's
Also,
actually sorry.
so he's interviewing for Google.
Yeah, he's preparing for Google.
Okay,
And
so was he hired already?
no, he's preparing. Like
Oh, he's
we only
preparing.
had two sessions. Yeah,
Okay,
the guy is very hardworking,
okay,
and
because
we're going on.
this is something for me. Like I have an interview like with Google like soon, so
Oh,
that's why
cool,
I'm doing the same thing, preparing for it as well.
nice. I've already. Well, I mean, I didn't sit for the interview, but I prepared for the interview with Google. And that's where my interview.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's where my. I have lost it. I continue to find the link, but it's fine. I can show you. My students. There. I can't seem to find the link. Right.
So if I just search Zara interview, should be able
No, no,
to.
no. Yeah, it's on my PC because it's like this one, you know. So yeah, I'll just show you like basically what we do. So uh, we go on over problems like this. I write down my notes. We also measure the time because in a real interview, you're not given 2 days to solve a 1 hour problem. You know, you always have to push yourself to the limits,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
we always set a target for ourselves to solve the problem within the most optimal solution in, let's say, 45 minutes. That's the
Okay.
target. So we always measure the time. We write down our notes, like me and my students, to be aware of the mistakes that we're making. And what happens when you're writing down your mistakes is that you become more aware of them so that you, like over time, when you track the progress
Yeah.
and your mistakes also, you can make sure that you're on the right path. You're learning and you're, you know, increasing your like solidifying your process or you solve problem solving process. You're improving it, and also you're
Mm-hmm.
facing some mistakes. So that's why it's important to you know track how much time we're spending on each problem, writing it down our notes, and also that helps us also like learn. You know, sometimes we discuss topics by here here we discuss some memory, complexity in recursive functions, also some recursive functions, backtracking, here some DP with recursivity and stuff like that. And um, and what I'm gonna be doing every session,
Mm-hmm.
I will try to know what you are good at, and will always try to push you to the limits
Yeah.
because yeah, at the start I really have no idea what you know what you know and what don't you know. So we can start with sort of easy problems and slowly. Whenever I see you that whenever I notice that you're pretty good with a certain topic, then I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on it, and I'm either gonna try to you know go over some new tricks within that topic or something like that, or we switch to another topic.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I have a list of problems here uh, that I've done myself. Uh, yeah, so you see this. So I have created them when I was working with this guy, John. He's an iOS developer. He was preparing for Amazon, not Amazon, sorry, Facebook. This is
Okay.
Facebook. That was last year, 2020. Yeah, so we were taking notes every meeting. What have you done? Actions, mistakes, and I was creating this list of tasks for him. He uploads his solutions to GitHub. He answers time, memory complexity, you know, and whenever there's a sort of like mistake or something that I want to mention to him, you know, I just write down some comments and he corrects them. And you can see that we have done some, you know, some decent progress. That's the recursive functions list. This is a dynamic programming list, and this is a graph list.
Okay. So
So
the
pretty
graph
much
question.
almost 5 to 6 problems for each category. Yeah, and there's also the late code problems that we should be trying to solve. They're super important. These problems I've done them myself because they're they're basic problems within each topic, and doing them is gonna make you have a solid base within each topic. For example, for recursive functions, this is
Okay.
each problem uh, is gonna be making you learn a new trick, and you will learn how to more about memory complexity, path complexity, implementing recursive functions, which is very important also to go to DP because when you have a solid recursive functions base, moving to DP is going to be very smooth, and you're going to be understanding DP right away. Not like me, for example, when I first started DP, I didn't. even know that it was very related to recursivity, and I have learned how to solve the first DP problem. I think it was the knapsack, and I spent 1 month on it just to understand it because I had no idea how to proceed and what was the right process to learn. But over time, like when you teach, you can know the step-by-step process that you can take, to make it very easy to for others to learn. Yeah,
Mm,
and
okay.
Erica is preparing for Amazon, by the way. We started a month and a week ago, and we're still having sessions. Yeah, last time I had sessions last week.
So when is his interview? If it's a month, if he started a month and a week ago.
Yeah, well, when we started, she was gonna have her interview in 2 weeks, something like that. But she delayed it, she postponed it, and she booked more sessions with me. I'm not saying indirectly that you do the same, of course. That was her choice, but um,
Yeah, because mine was like way back then, and then I think I did a mock interview with somebody who told me to push it further. So then within the last few months, like not months, but a month ago, I've just been like practicing on my own
let's see.
and like going through many different problems. But I guess we'll see. But what I'm just saying that I don't think for me I can push it any further than I pushed it now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me so what's your background in problem solving? How many problems have you solved on leetcode, and where are you practicing? So tell
So
me more about it.
I so like a friend of mine proposed the blind top 75.
Yeah, the graded list,
So
of
my
course.
strategy was to just like be good at those 75 questions,
Hmm.
like do them and redo them and redo them. And then after that, whichever strategy I learn, and then I can apply it to the next problem. But then I was also going to do, so per company, I was going to do the first 50 most frequently asked questions,
50,
depending on the company I apply
50 you
to.
said?
Sorry?
Did you say 50?
Yeah, the first 50. I mean, depending on time. So like
Okay.
now I have exactly like a month from today.
Mhm.
Like right this day, I have exactly a month
Yeah,
for my first.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many problems have you solved so far?
So I'm almost about to be done. So I could say like from the time I started, I have solved like say like 60 problems.
Oh, 16.
Yeah.
Out of the graded list.
What?
60 problems out of the curated list, right?
Out of what?
Out of the 75 blind list.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
I've probably
mhm,
forgotten some of them because I've just been so I haven't gone back to repeat any of them that I did. I just wanted to just like do them fast and then come back and redo them again. So probably I've forgotten some of them, but like the easy ones, definitely the concept is like something I remember.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, very cool. Um, okay, so then let's start with. Okay, um, I had it on. So this is the spreadsheet that I used. Yeah, so this one is a document with Zara. Well, Zara is a graduate from my boot camp,
Okay.
and she wants to get a job as a developer. So we're going over easy problems, and we're focusing on implementation. So
Yeah, I think I saw that strategy on YouTube where somebody was saying like it's best to start with the easy ones as you build up your stamina into the
yeah,
harder ones. Hmm.
yes. And once we're good with, I mean, for you, you're certainly good with implementation. I have no doubt. So
The
we're not
what?
gonna. I said I have no doubt that you're good with implementation since you've already solved 60 problems. So that's not how we're gonna proceed. I'm just showing you, because the list that we go over differs from student to student. This is my document, for example. This is what I used last year.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. So is that what you did with other people or you just by
No,
yourself?
no, this is what I've done for myself. Yeah,
Oh,
so I was focusing on a lot of medium needs, easy,
medium.
well,
Mm.
not easy. I mean, this one easy, two, yeah,
A lot
medium.
of companies ask medium ones.
Yes, yes. And I was also solving from code forces, and I was like writing down my notes after like learn nice perspective method,
Okay.
solving in three ways. Or here, I found the idea fast, but I did some implementation mistakes, pay more attention. So yeah, this is in the process of solving a problem. There's first you have to understand the problem, and then you need to get an idea, and then you have to implement and debug. And you will be sort of looping over. And well, it depends on the idea. If the idea is complete, then you will be coding, debugging, iterating until you solve the problem. Or sometimes the idea is not the right one from the beginning. So you will be iterating over a three-step process, which is idea, coding, debugging, and you loop and loop again. And that's how you improve your process. If you are having some implementation problems, then you should implement more. If you're having um, I problems with finding the ideas, then you should be working on that. If you're having problems with debugging, you should also focus on that. See, so it's a whole process. You can divide it into many small things so that you can focus on each thing on its own. And
Mm.
this is the list. I've
Okay.
I have copied it in a spreadsheet, but I didn't focus on it. I mostly solved a lot of problems on here.
So are you also like just using the blind 75 as well?
Yeah, it's a pretty famous one, so
Yeah.
it's like a must do. And and I was also doing Google interview questions. So I solved. This is what I solved. No, here. So here this column. This is what I have solved. So in total, this was for in 3 months. So I solved 160. From the Google interviews, I solved 24 out of 85. And out of the list, they have the um, like lists, sublists, problems, trees, and graphs. So here I solved five, six. Not bad. Facebook also. Anyway, yeah. With you, yeah, we should be, doing something like this, and it's important to even if you don't prepare with me. What I ideally suggest is that we do 2 hours per week, and for every 2 hours, you should work on your own for 10 hours, and also
For,
10 hours. Pretty much 2 hours a day.
so for a week, work on my own for 10 hours
Yeah, each week, what I personally suggest, we
and
do three
then I do
hours.
a session with you for 2 hours every week.
Yes, yes, that's
Okay,
a good rhythm that
I
I found.
honest honestly I don't mind at all. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to get the job.
Yes,
And I'm
and
willing to do anything to get the job. So I don't mind at all. So
yeah,
like, so
and
like for instance, today, can we like make it like 2 hours? But then since you've been talking for 28 minutes, so it's going to be 2 hours of problem solving though, right? Because this is just the introduction where you're showing me what you're
uh,
about and the things you've done, right?
well, I mean, this is an intro, but this is important also. It's
Okay.
not just 2 hours. They're not going to be fully 2 hours of coding because at each session, what I start with is, do you have? I'm going to tell you, do you have any questions? During
Uh,
Yeah, if you had any problem with some of the problems that you were solving, we will try to answer that question. Um, yeah, is there any like note or remark you have with the process, the problems, whatever? And then we will go on either a problem that you struggled with or a problem that I'll be suggesting. We measure our time, the time, which is very important. It has to be automated. Like even when you're not, you're solving problems on your own offline. Uh, I suggest that you learn the habit. You make it a habit to, I personally have Toggle, but you can have this app to log time. Yeah, see, I can type, let's say, problem one, uh, rating is like out of 70, 75. This is what I do to measure my time. But you can use any app or you simply use a timer. There's a timer on the, and I was kind of surprised, yeah. So you can do something like this. Um,
okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and after that, finally, we have to like stop and at the end of every session, we have to conclude by giving. I'll be giving you feedback. I'll be giving you written notes
Yeah.
that yeah you can put either here or somewhere. Um, Depending on what you want to have. Because I don't create this document for everyone, for example. Only for people who want to, book many sessions with me so that we can have time to go over these problems. Some people don't book a lot of sessions and we just go over some lists like this. No. Uh, so yeah. It's not going to be only coding. Everything or the process is it's not just coding and everything is important. How you code is important. The strategy that you put for yourself is important. It's not coding, but that's important. Stopping and doing some reflection, that's also important. You know, that's how practice works in any sports. It's not just if you're a tennis player or like a football player, you will not be playing games, all the time. You will be doing some mini tasks that will improve certain muscles, and each exercise, improves a certain technique and stuff like that. So, that's how it goes. Yeah, so without further ado, let's let's start. So yeah, and one other thing, I can show you the picture. This is the document that I pretty much use all the time to discuss the problems with my students. So you see, we go over problems, heavily discuss memory complexity, time complexity, explain what happens,
Okay.
review of another document. What is your language of choice? C sharp?
Are you gonna send it to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link. I said, what is your language of choice?
Oh, you send me the link. Okay, I see.
Um, yeah, I will send you. So what is your language? Sorry.
Java.
Oh, Java, Java. Mm. So your name is Moy.
Yes, Mony. Mony.
Moni, sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start with an easy problem, and I need to see you how you will solve it.
Okay, sounds good.
Number of problems. Number of. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'll send you a link, and you'll be sharing starting from now.
Okay, I think I am on that link now.
Okay. Okay. Did you get the problem?
Yes, it's right here. I'm opening it right now.
Okay. And don't forget to share screen share with me.
Okay. So no, I haven't solved this one before, so I will look at it.
So yeah, can you please share the screen and start the timer? And
Okay.
also speak out loud or like think out loud because I need to listen to your thought
Total
process.
view. Okay. So timer is mm,
And screen share. Don't forget that. I still do not see your screen.
timer. I'm trying to find the timer. Then I can set it. Oh yeah, now I can use my phone. I'm forgetting. I was going online because I remember you did something similar.
Yeah, just type timer on Google. You'll find it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna set a timer for like maybe I'll start with 6 minutes for now and then see how that goes.
Just can you just leave it open? You know? Not a just I don't know what do you call it? Not a finite timer, not a finite timer. Yeah, just leave it
Oh,
counting.
okay, okay, okay. Okay. So how many numbers are smaller than the current number?
Moni, sorry. You still haven't shared your screen.
Oh, yeah. So how do I, oh, yes, on this thing, host disabled participant screen sharing. I think you've disabled it.
No, I just speak with the host. You can screen share now.
Okay, share. And can you see my screen now?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So how many numbers are smaller than the current number? So given the array nums, for each nums that I find out how many numbers in the array are smaller than it. That is for each nums that I have to count the number of valid j's such that j does not equal I and none such j is less than nuns at I. Okay, I think I do understand what the problem is asking. So the problem is asking, for instance, this number, it's an array of int, which is the input. So for 8, I need to count the numbers within the entire array that is greater than 8. Otherwise, yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna continue to the problem, to the code share that you shared with me to do it. So the function, I'm just gonna copy it from.
By the way, when you work on leetcode, you can use the leetcode. You can,
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
I thought I had to type at the other one. Okay. So
you should sign in on leetcode. Do not lose your code when the other one.
oh, okay. Sign in on leetcode. Oh, so that way once I do it, then it's
Yeah, I see your screen by the way. Just saying, in case you don't want to show me blunt of your password or whatever.
but can you see my screen right now on
Yes,
leetcode?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna continue and like just do the problem, then I'll find this problem on my own account and then I'll do it again there. So
I mean, like this, we're not going to be able to run. You have to log in to run the code
oh really?
or submit.
Oh, I
I don't
didn't know
think
that.
you can run like this.
Oh, okay. So I was avoiding not remembering my password. Mm, okay, there we go. Looks like I didn't have issues remembering my password. Yep. So so my thinking process is to loop through. So have they given us a like a specific? No, so I am I'm going to have 2 for loops. I'm not sure if that's the best solution at the moment, but I'm just like starting from, brute force.
Okay.
So I'm saying int I equals 0, I is less than num. So I'm just gonna say int n equal to so I'm using 2 for loops at the moment. So I is going to hold the current I, and then j is going to be continuing from actually it's going to be I plus 1 going onwards all the way up to the end to confirm if the numbers are greater than the number. So then if it finds something, so then I'm going to have int num total, which I will initialize to 0 for now. So then I have if nums at I is so we yeah, so if nums at I does not equal nums at j, because they don't have to be equal, and so if they're not equal and nums at I is no, and nums at j is greater than nums at I, then you increment the top. And then at the end, the returning one. So at the end, you expect to return num totals. Okay, so with this solution that I have at the moment, I'm just gonna try and run against it with an example of a test case, just to see if it's working, or if there are like bugs in it that I need to fix, and then that way I'll see. So an example, so I'm working with 8, 1, 2, 2, 3. So what I'm saying is, so the size n is 5, and so I start, and num total for now is 0. So then I start at, for I is equals to 0 all the way to, but then j is always going to be whatever. No, actually, I just found out that I have a bug, because j is not necessarily counting everything from I going onwards. It's counting everything from 0 as well, but it's only going to pass the values that are equal to. So if it's so they're both going to start at 0. So then if nums at I, which at the moment it's 8, does not equal nums at j. So if j is starting at 0 and nums at j is obviously going to be 0, so then it's going to pass that, and then it's going to check if, so obviously it won't go through this if statement, so it's going to continue to the next, which is j is equals to 1, which is 1. And then if it compares and it finds that nums at I, which is still at 8, is different from j, and nums at j, which is 1, is not greater than nums at, so it doesn't go through that. And then it's, so for this particular, find out how many numbers in the array are smaller than 8. Oh, actually, so sorry, the question is asking smaller. So if nums at j is smaller than nums at I, then it should be able to increment. So if j is at 1, it's going to increment. So nums total is equals to 1. And then if continues to j is equals to 2, which is less than nums at I, which is 8 at the moment, it's going to increment nums. And then it's going to do the same for 2 and 3. And then we still continue. Now we go to I is equals to 1. So for I is equals to 1, we come back and j is 2. No, so j starts at 8, and then it compares if j is less than 1, which is not true because 8 is greater. So it doesn't continue, like it, I think it misses this. And then we continue and we check all the values until nums total. So at the end, nums total is going to return out. Oh, sorry. Again, I just found out that I missed out on the returning output, which should be an int. Okay, so I always have a problem with this part where, especially when it's returning an integer array, and this integer array, because you know with arrays, so this is just me telling you, like, no, if you are an interviewer, obviously I won't be talking to you about this one. So like when it's returning an int, and the int especially, it's going to like, because at this point we don't know like the size of the int, which sometimes might not be the same as nums. So if I was to initialize an array straight up from the top, then
Yeah.
then it's very difficult to, so sometimes for me, I just start with a list, because with a list you can always and then from the list I then add everything to the array, which is going to be the same size as the list.
You can also create an array that has the same size as the input array.
I can also do what?
You can create the output array, which, and at the same time, it can have the same size as the input array.
As the what? As the int
The
array.
input array, they can have the same size. The output
Oh,
array and the input array. You don't have to create a list.
oh, okay. So okay. So if it turns out, then some of the values within the arrays is going to have 0 values, which why sometimes it's synonyms, which is, okay, it's another bug I forgot. Oh no, I'm actually very, no, it's not. X. Okay, so that one.
Yeah.
And so I need to be adding, so instead of incrementing, nums at total, because I don't think that's what the question was asking anyways. If I do that, I'm just going to be wasting time. So I'm just going to, like say nums, no, array at, uh, at, okay, give me, okay. Okay, I think I'm just gonna, I'm wondering which one to go with between the two of them here. So, yeah, that's why I always go with a list, because with a list you just throw everything in, and then at the end you add it to an array output.
If you want to
So
go with a list, you can do it, and at
yeah,
the
so
end you can. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with what I'm used to, but I know with it. Okay.
I just said at the beginning that you don't need to do it as a dynamic list. That's what I said.
The what?
I just wanted to say that you don't have to create a dynamic list. It can be a static list. And for the size is not an issue. I mean, because you can create dynamically a static array with the nums dot length. Are you getting me?
Yeah, no, I'm getting what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
So then here I'm just going to say array add num j. And then at the end, I will loop through.
Isn't there a function that turns a list to an array?
The what? No, so now,
List to array in Java. Yeah, you can do it. There's a function to array.
There's a function that,
Yeah, that turns a list to an array.
oh, okay. Arrays dot, no, it's always list dot.
It's dot to array.
Okay. So then I can just say return. Oh, this one gives the.
Yeah, when you're premium, you can have the other complete. And it's a function. Yeah. Maybe you have to pass an object. I'm not sure.
The what?
Maybe you have to, the example that I have in front of me. There's an object that's passed in the input, line 14. But maybe you don't have to.
Okay. Okay. So this is how I would do it. But I have a problem with the double for loop because I feel like there's a solution that's way better than this.
Okay, let's run the code. Let's see if it's correct or not first. Maybe it's not correct. Or maybe it's correct.
Yeah, so that's also another thing.
Yeah, if it's correct, then maybe we try to optimize it. If it's not correct, then we try to make it correct first and see if there's a way to make it faster.
Okay, so should I run it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so object cannot be converted to an integer array. Okay, so I'm not sure if that would solve it. Okay, no, yeah, so that's why I'd prefer to do a for loop.
Okay. I have this example in front of me. That's
So I'll just like try with a for loop, like really quick.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll try running that one. Okay, so definitely the solution didn't work. The output is way. Oh, okay. So now I see. Okay. So based on the output, I think I know I'm not getting the right thing. Okay. So I do agree that I need this. Okay, so looks like that works, but I haven't tried it yet with so for this particular solution, it works. But I know in the interview, I'm not going to have a compiler that tells me that you did it wrong this way. It's gonna be me trying to debug it with my hand until I get everything right.
Yeah.
And also I noticed that I need to pay attention to know exactly what the problem is asking, because there's going to be that back and forth of like not knowing, okay, so like not just jumping straight away to the code. Like I need to like analyze the problem and like know exactly what's the expected answer.
Okay. Do you want to submit by the way, or there's something that you want to?
So this is accepted, but it's the running time. So it's just the same thing I told you. Like I'm not sure if this is the best solution. There's probably better than that doesn't require a double for loop, because of this is of n squared, which I think we can do better than this, then I just need to think about that solution.
Okay. So let's really discuss the time complexity and memory complexity, and then let's go to try to optimize feasibility.
Okay.
Yeah. What are the complexities there? So
So the time complexity for this is O of n squared.
mhm.
Yeah.
Memory complexity.
The what?
Memory complexity.
So the memory complexity is not good either because I have both an array list and an array at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it?
The what? What is it?
The memory complexity. Yeah.
So memory complexity is uh I think it's of I'm not sure how to calculate the memory complexity, but I do know like uh the the space that I'll require is for both of these two. And I'm not sure if we calculate of the complexity like for a list to be, I don't know that it's of n,
Yeah, it is over.
yeah, and then for the array is also of n. So it's gonna be of n because we don't multiply the two of them.
Yeah, it's over because
Okay.
we discussed the beginning. Even if it's a even if you're creating two arrays or three arrays, then still it's over.
Okay.
Yeah, that's well, you can the thing is that the output is already an array, and sometimes the output is ignored since you cannot go below O of n since the output is already O of n. So you should um I'm sorry, I was running I'm a bit sleepy. Um I was saying um so yeah, you should mention to the interviewer that we cannot go less than O of n. So
We can that I should mention to the
we
interviewer that.
we cannot go less than O of n because the
Uh-huh.
output is O of n. Memory, memory.
Okay.
Talking about memory.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can ignore that, and the additional memory that you're creating apart from the output array is pretty much nothing. What
Oh, I see. I see.
so,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so what you're doing is only like it's for the sole purpose of building the output, even if you're doing it with a list and array, and you don't have to create a list and array because you actually can use the array. Uh, can I have control?
Yes, approve.
Yeah. You can use. Oh, sorry. So you can do this. Right? You can array five. Uh, is not needed. Uh, comment. Can you comment this, please?
Oh yeah, so then I won't need that. Okay, I see. I see your point. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Can you comment with it? I cannot.
Yeah. So should I do it?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Uh, there's a shortcut.
There's a
Actually,
shortcut.
Yeah,
So you select it and then you do what? F what? Because my F keys are not working.
control slash.
Control flash F, control F.
No, control slash.
Oh, okay, control slash. Okay, got it.
Yeah, let's do it uh, with the shortcut.
With the
Shortcut. Yeah, let's do this. Yes. Yeah. Now
oh, you
so
want me
that
to
yes, I
okay,
did control slash, but it doesn't work from
okay.
my end.
Oh, that delete. No, wait. Control slash.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think so it's gonna be control. Wait. Okay. Now it's yes.
Yes. Exactly. And you can do the same to uncomment. You
To
can
which one?
to uncomment. You do it's the same.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah. So this is gonna be. Um, oh yeah, and we have so yeah, it's the same. Well,
Timing doesn't improve at all.
it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying that you don't need the array list. So it's just you can build the array since the beginning and assign like array of I equal to numpy. Okay. Now let's think of improving the solution. I'm gonna give you a minute or two, and if you don't find a way, I might start giving you hints.
Okay. So they give you hints.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna leave you uh, alone to think how we can optimize this. If you cannot find something, then I'll be giving you hints.
Okay. 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 How to optimize this? Okay. The other one that I'm always thinking about is instead of using this second for loop, uh, I only like use one for loop, and then I use a variable from
Yeah.
outside the for loop that I update within the for
Mm,
loop.
Moni, I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but I forgot about the timer. Can you read the value on the timer just to try load it?
Okay, so the timer right now is 34 minutes.
Okay. I'll make it 30 minutes
Okay,
for the first solution. Yeah. Let's get back to yeah. We were saying only one for loop and creating a variable.
yeah, it's a variable that so I'm just gonna like comment this one or just remove it, delete it completely.
Yeah. Can you tell me about the idea first before going to the implementation?
Okay, so my idea is so then I say, for instance, int int fast equal to nums at 0, and then I start looping through no, actually I could do that like even inside. So like so then I just do the normal for loop, but then I only have a variable that within the for loop that stores int at I, and then I just run everything within it while I compare that variable, and then I keep updating the variable to the next and the next and the next. Do you get what I mean?
Honestly, no.
Do you want me to do it? So then
Um, can you just like repeat quickly?
okay, so this is what
Okay.
I'm saying. So it said I could do for, and then a plus plus, and then I say like int car, which is the current one. It's gonna be nums at I. Okay, nums at I, and so I start comparing. So I do this one inside here, but then now instead of J, I say car, and then instead of nums, no, actually, so I guess J will be staying. So I could name this J. J will be staying, but then instead of num at I, I'm just gonna use car. And then instead of nums at I, I'm just gonna use car. And then right after the end, I update, I say car equal to car at I plus one. No, J plus one, because I'm using J. So this is my other idea. So then I reduce the double for loop into just a single for loop.
It doesn't work though.
It won't work.
Yeah. No, I mean, it will work. You can
Oh,
try that offline, but I mean, since we're together, let's try to focus on something that works. You can try that offline, as I said.
okay. Okay, I'll try it offline.
Okay, so the hint is try to use sort somehow.
Try to use what?
Sort.
Sort.
Yeah. There's a
Sort.
way to
Yeah.
sort the numbers so that you can reduce the time complexity.
Okay. Okay. So I see what you mean. So if I sort this one, so then that way everything is like, so if I use arrays dot sort nums, so it automatically sorts it in ascending order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then so then I know that for each of the so I know definitely like I at 0 is going to be 0, and then I plus 1 going onwards is always going to be the value, the total value. It's going to be the index. Is it the index? Yeah, the index of that minus 1.
Yeah, almost. Yes, that's the right way to go.
And then I input that value into. So can I try that solution?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what about the indices?
The
Uh,
indices?
yeah, because like keep in mind that you are building the output array. I mean, when you sort the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
the order is going to change. And the thing is that with the output array, you have to give the output in the same order of the input array.
Ah, I see. So you want something that's always going to save the right value. So then that way when I'm when I'm putting the right answer, then I should always look into a map and look at the matching answer and then assign it to that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so I could try that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
so
how are
then,
you gonna handle, how are you gonna save the order?
so what I'm thinking right now is after I sort, uh, so when I'm assigning the values into the, so I sort them and then, but then a map can only, so the issue I have with the map is a map is very distinct. So
Exactly.
that means for I'm going to lose some of my inputs if I use a map.
Yeah, that's right.
So mm, a list maybe,
How?
a list of lists.
How? Okay.
So then a list of lists that stores two things,
Mm-hmm.
one on at I and then the other one at 0. So then that way I have everything intact.
The first one is what and the second is what?
The what?
You
Okay.
were, yeah, what's inside of this?
So inside the list is going to be the value, the value of each index versus the total number of elements
Versus the total number of elements.
that are lesser than the total number of elements within the array that are lesser than that particular value in the array.
Okay, okay. Can you show me how you would do it? I mean, can you start implementing?
Okay. So okay, wait a minute. Yeah. So this is how I would do it. So I have an array that's sorted, and then I have a list of lists of integer, and then I'm just going to call it the list, which is going to be an array list. And then so once I have that, so this one doesn't, I'm not sure, I've mixed up solutions here, so I'm just going to comment the ones that look foreign.
Mm-hmm.
So once I have the two of them, so I want to be able to do a for loop. So I want to be able to do a for loop and I equals 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. And so for each of the elements, so then I'm just going to say list dot add. Can I use this to represent a list?
I don't, yeah, you should do the universe. And with that, it will work. It will work.
Is it going to work if I represent that?
Yes, like that. But before that, I think you have to do new list,
Oh, it's an,
brackets, integer, and then Okay, hold on. Let me. I
Yeah,
use
so,
Java not a lot, so I have to get that. Okay, initialize a list in Java.
oh, okay. So what I could, maybe what I could do, I could just use a
Oh,
list.
there's a function erase dot as list and
Arrays,
dot as list
arrays dot add list.
as list.
Oh, arrays as list.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and then
But then for this one, I'm creating a new list. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what I was intending on doing. So creating a temporary list there.
yes, array dot list as list does the same also.
Oh, okay. Oh, so arrays dot as list.
Yes, and
Okay.
you see the what's inside there. So as this, yeah, the three dots. So you put there as much elements as you have.
Oh, and then it's going to add it as list. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Mm, so what I was intending on adding here is nums at I, and then I add index. So I minus 1. And then this is what, but then I need to add this to my list outside.
Yes, you put it array dot as list inside the list dot add.
Arrays list dot add.
Yes,
Okay, I see what you mean. So then I wrap that all in list dot add.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So I'm hoping that this one should have all of the values. So what I need to do is I just need to loop through, but outside, I need to loop through my list. And then for each of the list that I have, I take just the value, the index, and then I add it to my output array.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But are you aware of the line three where you're
I'm at,
sorting?
yeah, I'm aware. Oh yeah, forget. So then I need to undo the sorting. But then I feel, oh, so I need to undo the sorting. So then it goes back to wherever it was before. And then for each of the elements, I find it in the list that I have. And then I take that and then I add it to the right.
Yeah.
So do you get the logic? So then I need to undo the sorting. So then but isn't that so costly though?
What is costing?
Like sorting and then unsorting at the same time.
Well, what is the complexity of the sort?
What's the inverse of the sort?
The complexity, hard complexity of the sort.
Uh, Complexity of the sort. Is it log of n?
No, it's not log n. There's no log n sort. It's bigger than log n.
So it's just constant?
No, sorting.
Because it depends with the so arrays dot sort. I don't know what's the embedded type of sorting that's there. Is it quick sort or is it?
Yes, essentially in n log n sort. So it's like quick sort. Quick
Okay,
sort
so
is n log n, and there's also merge sort. Anyway, it's in n log n sort.
okay, yeah,
So n log n.
okay, n log n.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is n log n.
yeah. But when you sort at line number 3, you're gonna be losing the order.
I don't need the order.
I said you will be losing the order.
Yes, I'll be losing the order. Yes, yes, I agree. But then, so then what I'm saying is I need to, oh, so I know what to do. So I'll just need to create to save this right before I I sort it.
That works.
So can I just always like do this, like temp and then just like assign nums to it? Does that even work in arrays?
That works as a reference. You have to clone it. Do dot clone, I think, in Java. Otherwise, it's gonna pass it by reference.
Oh, so it's only gonna be a reference, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a shortcut for how to, because I would always do a for loop which transfers
Uh,
everything to.
clone, I guess. Well, clone is contained in objects. Clone
Oh,
array in Java.
okay, clone. mm, let's see, this question took almost an hour. Very ridiculous.
Uh, does it try dot clone, non dot clone,
Okay, so
line 3.
so map, does map work? Mm,
Map. Uh, okay. First, can you please try clone? I think it works in line number 3. So copy nuns to temp, but create a clone for that. So
oh,
do
okay,
none dot
so this
clone.
dot clone. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, so that should work. Yes.
Yeah, might have a copy.
And so now this is the copy that I have. And
Yes.
then once I sort, so that means I still have the original. And so now I just need to loop through my temp. So for int j equals 0, j is less than temp.length and j plus plus. So for this, I just need to check if list contains this one, and then I get the value. So it's like a map would have been very easy because then you use this ones as keys. But okay. So for each assuming if so okay. So I'm gonna say list dot get j again dot, because then it's a list of lists, then dot get j again. So then that way it gives me the value of the first element in the array inside the list. So if that equals to temp at j, then I need to add array at j equals to
Moni,
yeah. One is very complicated.
sorry to interrupt you, but I'm afraid I have to go. I really don't mind. I usually don't mind to, do extra, like even 30 minutes. I really don't mind that. This time the thing is, I have a session in 27 minutes and
Oh,
I,
okay. So you have to go.
yeah, I have to eat and before, or take a shower. I have to do both, but
Okay.
I don't think I'm
So
gonna have time.
no, no.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm just gonna keep thinking about like
Mhm.
normally it's like I think it's gonna be very important for me to think about how to reduce the double for loop into something much simpler. So I'll work on that. But
Okay.
like from today's session, like later on, just type any reviews that you have on how I can improve, and then we'll meet again next Saturday.
Okay. Okay. I've already have some notes. I was
Okay.
taking notes while you were working.
Okay. Sounds good then. Hmm.
Oh,
Oh, so you can share them with me, like before you leave?
yes, they're
Okay.
ready,
Okay.
and I can
So,
already give
okay, I
you.
can,
Yeah,
I'll stop sharing then. Okay. I have stopped sharing.
let's see in my messages. We haven't talked in the messages.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't even talk in the messages. You literally just straight away with the session review. Because I cannot send you a message, and I don't want it to be saved in under the gig. I
That
think
you don't want what? And I think I'm finding it hard to listen to you.
I'm
Like
sorry. Is it
I think
is it my voice? Is it the
I
weight of
think
the mic?
it's the internet. There's like some trouble in connection. Sometimes it stops and then it like picks up, but it's okay. It's all good.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So I'm just sending it over Zoom, and I have it saved already. If we will create a document or something like that.
Okay.
Saved. Okay. So yeah, overall, um, yeah. So um, try to yeah for the first one, the first note, you should consider you should check the constraints before going with the brute force solution.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good that you have thought of it as the first solution. Then this is what you should do. But after that, you don't directly go to implement the solution because you might not be able to have a passing solution because the constraints are very big. You can see that the complexity was open squared, and open squared is very big. So if the length of the array goes up to, let's say, 10 to the 5, then your solution wouldn't pass. The reason why it passed because the length of the array goes to 500, I guess. That's why it worked. But in in a real like review scenario, you shouldn't implement right away. You should make sure that the constraints allow you to implement the brute force solution because otherwise it will not pass.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
let's say you have the idea of the brute force solution. Yeah, you should ask the interviewer. There are two scenarios. Either she says that the constraints are small, and then you should mention the brute force solution because it's the easiest to implement.
Yeah.
And it's always important to be as efficient as possible because that's what they want to focus on in the interviews. They need
Yeah.
efficient people. So that's why you should not overkill a solution that's, you can have very small constraints, but you don't have to optimize and waste hours after hours just to add a small implement optimization, but then you figure out that you literally do not need the optimization, and a brute force would have worked fine and would have saved you time. Um,
Wait, what did you say? I think the last point I didn't, because I remember you you started by saying that I should know the constraint,
yeah, yeah.
and then if the brute force solution that I have is like outside the constraint, then it's just a good thing to have it in the back of my mind, but I should use it and think about how to optimize that.
What I was saying is that if the constraints are small enough, then go for the brute force solution because that's the most efficient solution.
If the what? Now
The
something there.
constraints are small. The
Oh, if
const-
the con okay,
yeah,
if the constraints are small, then the brute force is the solution.
yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, then just mention the solution to the interviewer and say, okay, if the constraints were small, we could have uh, went for a brute force solution, but in this situation, we cannot do that because the brute force solution is gonna be elephant squared, and our n goes up to, let's say, 10 to the 4, and 10 to the 4 squared is gonna be very slow.
Okay, so what's an example of a small constraint?
Uh, this example has some small constraints. It has
Oh,
yeah, the length goes up to 500, which is pretty small, and n squared passes. If you increase n to 10 to the 6, 10 to the 3, 1000,
mhm.
I'm not sure it works.
But if the numbers are bigger, like say like we're talking about 500,000 and above, then I should know that
Oh,
for it will exceed for a brute force solution, the time will exceed, right?
yeah, definitely. 500,000, you have
Yeah.
to implement a linear solution.
Do
For
they
an,
ever give
mhm.
do they ever give constraints in an interview? Or should I like just ask them?
Yeah, you should ask. You should know.
Okay,
You
okay,
should
so
ask.
ask for constraints.
They don't
Okay,
give constraints because they want you to think how you can solve the problem. So
okay,
that's why you should know the multiple scenarios. You know, if the constraints are big, if they're small, and etc. Etc.
okay. So then
Yeah.
so you're just saying I should just ask them what are the constraints in this problem?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So then that way I know. So then I don't waste time if I could use brute force solution as one
Exactly.
of the answers. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Um. Also, yeah, you did some pretty small mistakes, implementation mistakes that, I mean, you
Yeah.
should you should try to pay more attention to that. Um, and also, yeah, whenever you work, try always to push yourself. You need some pressure so that you can speed up because you're a bit slow for the interview. I don't
Okay.
mind for me. I don't mind. I can kind of wait for hours, but in a real interview, you need to be faster and you need to
Okay.
make less mistakes.
Okay.
So
So push myself for the
yeah,
interview. Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The way you get faster is by practice
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and by pushing yourself. So always say that, okay, I'm gonna solve this problem in an hour.
Mm.
When you solve it the second time, you have to, let's say, the
Cut
next
down the
time,
time. Mm-hmm.
exactly, let's say 30 minutes, something like that. And also, you have to try to think more. I think you're, rushing a bit. That's why you're making some of the small mistakes that you yourself are aware of. You can correct yourself. They're not mistakes that you're not aware of. And these kind of mistakes, they come from rushing. So try to slow down. But the thing is, it's okay to be slow at the start and make less mistakes, and speed will come over time. Okay, but
Okay.
don't speed up. Because when you try to speed up, you will make more mistakes. And there's this sort of threshold where you you know um, where you bypass that speed and you will be making a lot of mistakes. And there's also
Okay.
a threshold where you can be kind of slow, and slow is not bad, by the way. I mean, slow is only a process of doing something that we're not very used to do, because as I said, like only, speed comes only from practice and pushing yourself. That's how you become faster.
Okay. Practice
Yeah,
and pushing yourself.
yes. So pretty
Okay.
much this is it. Try to yeah, for the other for even for this problem, yeah, try to um, keep working on it. And yeah, if you need anything, let me know. And also keep logging your time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Moni.
Yeah, thank you so much as well for the feedback. I definitely will try harder to minimize on the time,
Mhm.
and also like being very aware and making as less mistakes as possible. And that's like by practicing, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm sorry. I will have to go.
No, 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 it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Moni. Yeah. Yeah. Just if you need anything, just hit me up on. Uh,
Yeah, we'll definitely do. All
okay.
right. So we'll
Thanks
talk
so
again
much.
next week and send if I need to like purchase anything right before next Saturday, just like send me the link and I'll do it.
Sorry. What did you say?
Now I'm just saying if I have to purchase like for next lessons, like the weekend that's coming up, then just send me the updated thing that you mentioned on Fiverr, and then I'll just purchase it.
You mean the new values, the new
Yeah,
rates?
yeah, because
Okay.
you say that this is only for today's class, right? What I bought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so then if I need to do another class with you, then I'll have to like purchase
Yes,
another.
yes, yes. We will discuss
Okay,
this in messages. I'm
okay,
super
okay.
sorry, Mom. I really have to
I
go.
have to go. Yeah, definitely. Okay, go, go.
Thank you.
All right,
I'll send you the
bye.
2 hours link on. Yeah, can you send me a message on so I can send you like so that we can talk back and forth because I cannot message you.
Okay,
Uh,
sounds good. Sounds
yeah,
good. Thanks.
and we'll keep talking about this. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.